greatest country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
What up? What up? How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh my God,
Good morning.
stop, dude.
Good morning.
Guess the meme.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You'll figure out what I was talking about later.
You forgot the cackle there, dude.
Yeah. Good morning. The rock with
That was a
lips,
good cackle. Jeez.
oxygen thief. Kamala Harris had a rally yesterday, and she said "good evening" almost as many times as Allen Iverson said the word "practice."
Practice.
It was.
We talk about practice, man.
We talking about practice, man. So good morning, everybody. Yes, Graham is still sick. We're continuing to pray for him. He sounded like he was a little bit better yesterday, but obviously not good enough to be here. So yet again, for the second day in a row, Yuza stuck with me. So I know Royce is excited about it, but hey, the show must go on. And y'all, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and none more importantly than the Minnesota governor that is now the vice presidential nominee that literally has a laundry list worth of issues. I have one issue to top them all. And yes, I will say the one issue I have with him is even worse than putting tampons in a fourth grade boy's bathroom. I'm sorry. This is worse than that. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. Now is the point, is the time. We need you to hit that like button right now. Let's get the chat going. What do you think? Do you oh God. Do you dislike this Walz dude as much as I do? Like y'all,
you do a lot.
I've not spoken to someone who doesn't dislike him yet.
Well, the thing is this is a clean show, and when we get into people with fake valor, that steal valor, that lie about their military careers and stuff, that's when my face turns red and Dark Todd comes out. So he might come out later. Get the bleep button ready. But hey, do you like the guy? Yes or no? Obviously, we're just going to put a whole lot of no's in the chat. If I see one yes, I'm just cutting the stream off. But anyway, leave us a comment in the actual comment section. Super questions. Do not forget, $5 or more. We will read your super questions after the show. I mean, at the end of the show, towards the end of the show. Hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, the follow button, because you click that follow button, you know when we go live. So let's see who's here with us today. And first off, I'm going to flip it a little bit.
Oh no.
Producer Royce is here, and I'm going to let him explain what happened yesterday.
Oh, with the live?
Yeah, just
completely there's not much
off
to explain because I don't know what happened. It is being investigated. But long story short, as we were reading the super chats at the end of the show, it just cut off. Unexplainable. I didn't hit a button. I saw a lot of comments like, Royce hit a button. I didn't hit a button. It just cut off. So it's working today. I'm working with the software company to figure out what happened to make sure it does not happen again. So we apologize about that. Anyways, Mexican Tony.
I was literally stuck.
It was Roy's difficulties. What it was. That's exactly what happened.
Roy's difficulties.
Yeah.
Roy's
and
difficulties.
As Graham would say, I am your host, everybody's favorite redneck, Hot Seat Todd, who hates his music more than anybody on this show. But
yeah, I know. It's so depressing when Todd's music comes on because he's literally just.
Hey, before we move into the show, guys, I know we're going to talk a lot of negative stuff coming up and whatnot, but I just want to tell everybody in the chat, I was telling Todd earlier, thank you guys so much for getting in the chat early before we start the show. That's one of my favorite parts of being on here is just interacting with you guys and talking with you guys and whatnot.
It's a lot.
There's so many different personalities in there and whatnot. Everybody's got their own opinions and just everybody says how... good mornings and blessed to be here and whatnot. And I just want to say thank you guys. It's really one of my favorite parts of the day. So
absolutely.
I appreciate that. Yep.
And yes, I got a haircut. This is my typical way my hair normally looks. So it was really long yesterday. So yeah, I had to get it cut. It was annoying. But yeah, so the show ended abruptly yesterday. And I was literally stuck like this. Just frozen. It was great. I was like, can we at least fix that part? But anyway, let's get into our first sponsor of the day. That is our friends at Birch Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a very common sense reason gold is pushing to an all-time high right now. Actually, there are several. Number one, the cost of goods continue to rise despite interest rates controlled by the Fed. Since January of 21, the cost of living is up almost 18%. The national debt continues to skyrocket, now above $34 trillion. And a presidential election's coming up, and that'll have a massive implication on the future of this country. What does this mean? It means instability and uncertainty, and that is why so many Americans are turning to the Birch Gold Group. Have you diversified your savings yet? Secure a portion of them with gold from Birch Gold. All you have to do is text the word GRAHAM, GRAHAM, to 989898. Guys, they're going to give you a call. They're going to get your address, your information. They're going to send you a free info kit. All you have to do is to text the word GRAHAM, GRAHAM, to 989898 now. Okay. All right. So, Roy's put this in there this morning, and I just think it's hilarious. Me and Tony both agreed. I thought this dude was still in jail. So, Donald Trump an endorsement yesterday from, yes, the Tiger King.
Of course he did.
The Tiger King.
The Tiger King.
I think he's in Florida, is he not?
I thought he was in prison, but
so did I.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
That's also true.
But so apparently the Tiger King has suspended his presidential campaign.
He's got Trump water.
And he's decided to endorse President Donald J. Trump. Let's just play the video.
Are you as tired of politically correct presidents as I am? Let's shake things up just a little bit. Donald Trump for president. This ad is approved by none other than Joe Exotic. I'm not just a supporter, I'm a candidate.
Dude, I love the mullet, man. That mullet he's kicking that mullet's butt, man. That's awesome.
That is amazing.
People like that when folks hear my accent, they think I'm an idiot. Just because of people like that. So thank you, Joe Exotic, for ruining, the reputation of several thousand million Southerners.
You think there's several thousand million?
Yeah, several thousand million. That's a word. I mean, if Biden can say it, I can say it.
That's a word.
He just proved his own point there, Roy.
Yeah, I know, right? He's like, you're making us all several thousand millions of us look stupid right now.
That was my Biden impression, man. Give me a break.
All right, moving on.
But moving on a serious note, though, this is interesting. Okay, I've got so many questions about this. So Donald Trump posted this yesterday. On his Truth Social, he says, on Monday night, I will be doing a major interview with Elon Musk. Details are to follow. What?
Yeah.
Now, what I do know is that Truth Social is about to start a streaming service.
Are they? I've not heard this.
Yeah, they're about to start a streaming service here in the near future. Maybe that has something to do with this. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but those two.
Wouldn't that be great if Trump and Elon collaborated and they made their own search engine? Because remember, they were talking about bypassing Google and whatnot. Imagine if they had their own.
I think that was a rumor.
Yeah, I
don't know if that was ever actually in the works.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, imagine if they got together and they're like, you know what, we need a search engine that is not going to stop people from researching whatever they want to research, and bam. There you go.
Well, honestly, what I would like to see happen is them, first off, them create a search engine, but two, pull their resources and buy TikTok. That's what I would like to see.
They don't need to. No. Elon does not need to buy TikTok. Elon bought Vine. He already has the infrastructure. He just needs to use that infrastructure and apply it to X and create his own TikTok.
Yeah, but you've already got billions of people on TikTok. Why not just take them too?
Because it's a Chinese company. You're not going to buy TikTok. You can maybe have the rights to the U.S. whatever, right? It has to have I forget how they have to do it, but they have to have something in the U.S., like a headquarters in the U.S. or something like that.
Yeah,
Something weird. But he already owns Vine. So if he's going to do anything with it, bring Vine back or use that infrastructure and apply it inside of X. Because you can already scroll in X like you can on TikTok or Instagram Reels and scroll up and watch videos. But it doesn't have like a way to build those videos or anything along those lines.
Yeah, right. That's the only thing that X is really missing is like the Reels section like Meta has. And if he does that, I see that platform taking off and being the only place us conservatives can go to get out information to you. I ain't buying nothing right now. Forget it.
Yeah, and something I bet that Google is probably censoring the search of is Cori Bush.
Yes. Oh, there is a God. Number two squad member. Jamal Bowman fell a month ago. Now Cori Bush has fallen. She lost her primary in St. Louis. Bye-bye, you baby-killing, fake faith-healing devil. You go dig ditches somewhere. Just whatever you do, just go away. Go away. And unfortunately, Ilhan Omar won her primary.
Barely.
So we only have two left, right? We have Omar and AOC, right?
Omar, AOC, Rashida Tlaib. Okay. Yeah, you got a few more in there.
Yeah. Todd, you missed the Deadpool opportunity.
No, I didn't. Bye.
There you go. Boom.
Great. So that's so good. So good. So everybody should be really excited about that. I cannot stand this woman. That was the one that wanted, remember, that was the lady that wanted to defund all of the police and was paying like $300,000 for private security.
So 2 down. Do we think AOC is ever going to possibly be taken down?
She just won her
she won her primary.
AOC is one of those people in the same way that Kamala Harris is being put up and being given the opportunity to run for president, right? And I believe that all this hype around her is fake. I think AOC in the future is going to have a similar opportunity. She's one of those people where it's like you can't take seriously, but she's ridiculous enough that the Democrat Party might put her up because she's controllable. You know what I'm saying?
She's just that wart that will not go away.
I'm still trying to figure out, and I was having this conversation with my daughter yesterday. I'm still trying to figure out how they got Harris on the ticket. She hasn't gotten one single vote. She wasn't elected. They just put her up there.
I will tell you how. It's not going to make you feel any better, but I will tell you how, because truthfully, the delegates that vote, they can technically vote for whoever they want to.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's how it happens. So, it's almost like we're living in the Matrix. Like, you think you can control it by going to the ballot box, but when in essence, you really don't. They really don't have to listen to you if they don't want to. Now, 99.9% of the time they do, but they really don't. That's how she won. That's how she's the nominee right now. So, and this is what happens when
does the DNC actually happen?
Next week.
It's here soon, right?
Yeah, it's like next week or the next week.
And that's when it'll be official. It's kind of in the same way, like we all knew that Trump was going to be the nominee because all of these delegates already said that Trump was going to be the nominee. They're all claiming that it's going to be Kamala, but it will be official next week.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, all these people on the left that are so radical, none of them voted for her, and she is their pick. It blows my mind that she hasn't gotten one single vote because she wasn't part of the ticket. It was Biden and Trump, and all of a sudden she is their golden child now.
It's interesting that you say that, Tony, and we will talk about this later on in the show. But Trump is saying some things right now, like the DNC might blow up because apparently Joe has buyer's remorse. That's gonna be.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that
later. Stick around,
everybody.
An eventful show. But before we move on, let's talk about our friends at Ready Pantry. Ladies and gentlemen at Dear America, we are excited to announce a new partnership with an incredible company that loves America and wants to see everyone prepared for this upcoming election, this possible World War III that's about to kick off, and the stock market just doing what the stock market does. Ready Pantry is a firm supporter of freedom, and they are helping families all across America fill their pantries with long-term food supplies for disasters or any situations. Right now, you can get your pantry ready without breaking the bank. All you have to do is go to readypantry.com/Graham. That's readypantry.com/Graham. Everyone should keep at least 3 to 6 months of food in their pantry, just like you stock up on ammo and apparently toilet paper. Keep food. They have water that is good for 50 years. Make sure your pantry is ready and help stock up the pantry for a loved one against disaster or any life situation with Ready Pantry. Nice. Okay, so let's get into China for a second, because this looks like something out of a 007 James Bond Mission Impossible movie. Apparently, China has bird-like military drones. They throw a mockingbird in your yard, you think it's a bird, and it's recording you. So footage shows, well, my bad. It's all good. This footage shows Chinese commando unit employing a biomiminic drone disguised as a small bird during a military shooting competition. The drone, which flaps its wings to fly, has potential applications for covert reconnaissance due to its realistic appearance and small size. Let's check out the video, because this is creepy.
观察另一名队员呢，是现在释放的一个仿生鸟，它的作用是现在呢看到的是一个仿生鸟。
Yeah, that looks real.
在空中呢进行。
I wouldn't question that.
It looks like a flying fish.
Yeah, it does. The tail's not moving.
观察另一名。
I mean, I've never seen this video, but I said mockingbird. It looks like a mockingbird. Wow. Okay. Cool. Good point.
I mean,
Todd.
from far away, you couldn't tell that it's not a drone.
No.
It looks like a bird from far away, but from close up, you can tell that the tail is not moving.
And yeah, is it a little sketchy, a little scary? Maybe. But because with those little bitty drones like that, they have to be controlled by somebody close to it. Mm-hmm. Like, those are not long range reconnaissance drones. Those are like, I'm sitting in the building next to you looking at a controller, but still creepy.
It is creepy, but I've seen videos on YouTube before of people with like little bitty insect size little drones with cameras on them or whatnot. I mean, this isn't anything new. It's just they're trying to make it look more realistic, I guess. I mean, but the thing could be, the only thing that would creep me out more if the thing could land and just sit on a limb. Yeah, just sit there and just
now that would be freaky.
Yep.
But yeah, so 007 James Bond has a new toy. So Graham, if you're watching right now, I need you to hit the pause button, because we don't need your blood pressure to go up for this next little clip we got going. So Tay-Tay,
gluten intolerance is about to skyrocket.
Yeah. So Tay-Tay has this. It's being rumored that it will not be long before Taylor Swift is going to endorse, Kamala Harris. Can we go up a little bit?
Who's that in the background?
Is it? No, that ain't Kamala Lama.
That's the rumor. That's what the whole post is.
Oh, wow.
That's the topic. Breaking. It's been reported that Taylor Swift is about to endorse Kamala Harris because her latest Instagram post appears to have Kamala in the background in silhouette form. That is supposed to be, and it looks like her. I can almost hear the cackle.
Yeah, it does. But I have to remind you, look, we're all adults here. Most of us are in our 30s and 40s, and we don't care. But we got to look at the facts here. We said this months ago that this woman can sway, I think it was, what was it, Tony? 12% of the vote?
I think so, yeah.
By who she endorses. Yep. It was over 10. Yeah, it was over 10%. And that just lets you know how far deep in the sewer at this point that we really are, that a singer can get out there and say, I vote for this person, and 10% of the population goes, okay.
Well, if we're being fair, an actor like Ronald Reagan can come out and say, vote for me, and everybody does it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I know. And same with Donald Trump, because I'm a realtor and I've been on TV. I've been on WWE. Vote for me, and everybody does it. The truth is, these type of people undoubtedly have influence And someone like Taylor Swift, if Taylor Swift came out and said, vote for me, I don't know what would happen. But she's got an unbelievable amount of influence.
I would rather her do that. I would rather her come out and say, hey, write my name in.
You think so?
Yeah, because everybody that's voting for Kamala would vote for Taylor Swift anyway. Nobody that's voting for Donald Trump at this point. All right, so the groups have already been set. All right, it's the 10 to 15% that everybody's fighting for right now that are on the fence. Everybody that's already voting for Donald Trump is going to vote for Donald Trump. But them Kamala mental illness is real, folks. They hear Tay-Tay come out and say that, oh, they'd write her in over Kamala in a heartbeat.
Say what?
Yeah, I'm just saying she's a demon. She made a deal with the yellow-eyed demon, all supernatural. I don't care. And when she disappears off the planet, that's because the hellhounds found her. I'm just saying. But moving on, because I'm tired of looking at her stupid face.
Oh my
So Kamala Harris had a rally yesterday with her new vice presidential pick, Timothy Walz. And if this is not, you know what, I'm going to back up. This is the second cringiest entrance of the night. We'll show you number one.
I mean, I know we have to play all these clips. I saw this stuff live, and I was just, I don't even have the words. I was just like, oh my goodness. Everything they were saying and just their whole appearance was just making me nauseous. But please play the clip for everybody else. So
let's flood the chat with weird while we're playing this, because these are the true.
And so
weirdos.
Graham just texted me and he said, dude, she controls 23% of the vote. That's terrifying.
Very dangerous, yeah.
That's terrifying. So it's good to know that you're okay, buddy.
Can anybody do a Graham impression?
No.
Can anybody sound like Graham? No?
No.
I don't even know how to do that.
I don't. Riddle me this. I got nothing.
Just screaming.
I got nothing.
Somebody
let's play the clip.
Let's play the clip.
Needs to do his scream too.
Let's play the. I can't do that. So let's play this cringy intro.
Her face too.
The dude smiles so much. He smiles so much, I really don't think he has a central nervous system. He comes out. And I'm sorry.
He's just so excited to be the VP pick.
Dude,
he thinks that everything is going for him in this moment.
Well, and I got to thinking about this morning. Everybody was talking Shapiro. They were talking this person and that person and all these names that were somewhat known. Nobody wanted to do it. Nobody wanted to hitch their wagon to that turd. I mean, this is the only one that were like, oh, okay. All right, I'll do it.
He's in their agenda, man. Everything that this guy stands for, which we'll get into, lines exactly up with where the Democrat Party wants America to go. And it's sad. And after we show everything that this guy is for, it kind of lays a clear path as to what their plans are. Because why else would she pick this guy of all people?
Yeah, well, and so y'all saw how I opened the show this morning. This is why.
Here we go.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
You see, didn't he whisper something to her?
We needed a good evening counter. She said it 6 times in 19 seconds because her brain couldn't process any other word.
Roy,
he
whispered behind her, stop saying good evening.
Stop saying good evening.
Too much. Slow it down.
Just once.
And she's like, uh-huh.
Too many good evening.
See, she goes, uh-huh. Cackles.
Yeah, whatever. That's why I opened the show with that. And then she goes off to say this, and she wasn't lying. She says, we are the underdogs, but we have the momentum. Little truth to that. We have work to do. We need to move to the general election and win back. We are the underdogs in this race, but we have the momentum, and I know what we are up against. Before being elected vice president or a senator, you don't get elected as a vice president. You get nominated and then president, but okay, move on. I was elected attorney general, district attorney, and a courtroom prosecutor. I'm sorry. I thought attorney generals were appointed. Weren't they appointed positions? Anyway, I've taken all kinds of perpetrators, predators, fraudsters, and cheaters. I know Donald Trump's type. But let me say, this campaign is just not just a fight against Donald Trump. Our campaign is a fight for the people. And we can play it in her stupid voice.
And so now we got some work to do. We need to move to the general election and win that.
Where's the Southern accent?
And to all the friends, listen, we also need to level set.
The clip is so quiet. That's just as loud as it goes.
But we have the momentum, and I know exactly what we are up against. Now, many of you know, before I was elected vice president or elected a United States senator, I was an elected attorney general, and before that, elected district attorney.
I can't help but watch Walz the whole time. Yeah. Like every time she was talking last night, I wasn't listening to her because, I mean, she's a mouth breather. I was watching Walz. And the fact that he was an NCO in the U.S. Army frightens the crap out of me for the state of Minnesota. Like, I mean, and we'll get to that in a minute. But then Tim Walz takes the stage, and I mean, he threw out
really quick. Let's mention the fact that they were live on Biden's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What?
So not only do you steal and take the nomination from Joe Biden, you steal his YouTube account too? Come on.
They just forgot to change the name and picture.
Yeah, leave the guy something. You know, I mean, leave it. I mean, you gonna take his Twitter next? Is that it? Or they've already revamped that?
Also, 890,000 subscribers. The president of the United States. 689 people watching. We've had more than that watching
for real
on our live stream.
For real, and I have to admit, okay,
And this isn't like right off the beginning. This started 57 minutes ago when the screenshot was taken.
Me and Tony were watching this live, and we were texting each other back and forth about it. And I even said this. I said, that's a big crowd they've got right now. Like it was loud, and it could have been fake. They could have had the mics turned up a little bit more than normal. But I got a little nervous, but then we saw this and it's like 689 people watching. There are more than that watching us now live, like way more.
You know what's crazy? 689 people. There was probably about that or more. Probably more in that room. Everybody in that room could have had their phones out, and that could equate to their YouTube viewing.
Yeah, exactly.
They could all be paid actors. Like, all right, everybody, open up your phone, go to Joe Biden's account. Open up the YouTube.
Please,
they're all like screaming as loud as they can, having their phone down here.
Yeah,
but but playing the devil's advocate here, because I was having a conversation with my wife last night, and we both brought up a point that these two, Kamala and Walz, were they made their speeches very well. They had the crowd energized and whatnot, which kind of made me nervous because obviously we're used to having Biden out there who's just stumbling over his words, who can't speak if his life depended on it, and all the people on the left who are looking for somebody to vote for that isn't Trump. They don't know any better. They're gonna see these two out there and say, "Oh, these guys, they're saying everything we want to hear." The whole not have to pay for insurance and the whole, everything that the left stands for. It made me a little nervous to the point where I'm still hopeful that Trump is gonna get in there and the common sense people are gonna say, "Yeah, enough's enough." But we've had 4 years of Biden. No. But it made me a little nervous.
But do you think, Tony, that it's not as much as what they were saying or anything like that, or as if Biden is standing up there, you're so confused, you don't know when to applaud, you don't know when to laugh because he tells you sometimes, hey, you can clap now, whether he stands up there and goes lick 'em, versus somebody who can actually read and complete a sentence. I personally think that was, yes, we finally have somebody we can understand.
Well,
hallelujah.
Again, the people on the left that are totally against, what we stand for, the conservatives stand for. We want, a safe country. We want a good economy. We want inflation to go down, et cetera, et cetera. They are looking for, Trump could, like I said, I've said it before, Trump could be offering everybody, I will give you guys no more taxes, no more, and, just make you guys lives 100% better. They would still vote against him just because they have somebody else on the left that's name is not Trump. I mean, they don't care. As long as his name is not Trump, that's who they're voting for.
Yeah, look, folks are not voting for Kamala. Well, let's be real. They're not voting for Kamala. They're voting against Donald Trump.
They're voting against Trump, correct.
That's exactly what's going on. But Walz took the stage.
Before we get into Walz, let's do our third ad really quick. And this will be it, yeah.
Wait, this is Patriot Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's talk about our friends at Patriot Mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, Americans are tired and frustrated by a stalling economy, inflation, endless wars, and the relentless assault on our values. Thankfully, there are companies like Patriot Mobile that still believe in America and our Constitution. We here at Dear America are proud to partner with Patriot Mobile because they're on the front lines fighting for the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, and our military and first responder heroes. Take a stand for conservative causes and put America first by switching to Patriot Mobile today. You'll get the same nationwide coverage as the big providers because Patriot Mobile operates all three major networks. They even have this little witchcraft software that if you're in an AT&T area, you use AT&T towers. If you're in Verizon area, you use Verizon towers. So make the switch, keep your phone, keep your number, make the switch to Patriot Mobile today. It's a 100% US-based customer service. We'll find the best plan for your needs. All you have to do is go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. That's patriotmobile.com/Graham. And right now, if you use the offer code Graham, Graham, you'll get a free month and free activation. So go to patriotmobile.com/Graham right now. Okay, that's
And before we move on, Todd, I wanted to read. Remember, Graham texted us yesterday right after their speeches. I want to read this to the chat because he had a very good point. He texted us, gonna have to wait for the polling data to show up, but he has two thoughts. It's a brand new race that is no longer in the bag, and they are going to cheat. Number two, because we know that the Trump team watches our show, Trump team better start adjusting strategy to combat this momentum, which is very, very, very true. I mean, Graham has been doing this way longer than we have, and he put it almost exactly the way I was thinking. My thoughts were exactly what he was saying. I mean, you cannot dispute the fact that they had a pretty packed, show there.
Yeah.
And again, all the people on the left, they're going to vote for anody that does not say Trump. And they have some momentum.
I will be the first to admit that it is a brand new ball game. Mm-hmm. All right, look, the odometer has been reset. Mm-hmm. Like it's been reset. But we have to remember that both of these candidates are both horrible socialists.
They are, absolutely.
However,
absolutely.
They're not walking corpses, like Joe Biden. Okay, So they're going to jump all over that. It's a new race, new game. We've got to attack them daily. Mm-hmm. And with the Trump campaign, you've got to attack them on their policies because that is one thing. Kamala has been out there 2-3 weeks at this point. Has she said one thing? One policy, anything, what she's going to do to fix immigration, what she's going to do to fix inflation, what she's going to do to fix the Fed, what she's going to do with the military, the VAs and things. No, hasn't said one thing. The only thing she's gone out there and said is, so they need to kick it into high gear and destroy their failed policies because both of them have a record. All right. Yep. The Tim dude in Minnesota has a horrible record. Mm-hmm. Horrible record in Minnesota. Awful. And Kamala, as the border czar, horrible record. She has a horrible record as the prosecuting attorney in California. All right. And it's funny because every time we talk about Kamala or every time now that we've started talking about Walz, I get messages all the time. Hey, I'm from Minnesota. I left Minnesota because the dude sucks that bad. Mm-hmm. So we got to remind ourselves that we can't start attacking how doofus they are. We got to go and show the American people exactly what their policies are, exactly how bad they are. Stick with the policy, not the person, because that's how they fight. All right, so let's fight the right way here. True. But again, Walz got on stage, and just said a bunch of just ridiculous stuff. This is him talking about Donald Trump and violent crime being up when Trump was president.
Now, Donald Trump sees the world a little differently than us. First of all, he doesn't know the first thing about service.
Ooh, writing that down.
He doesn't have time for it because he's too busy serving himself. Again and again and again, Trump weakens our economy to strengthen his own hand. He mocks our laws. He sows chaos and division. And that's to say nothing of his record as president. He froze in the face of the COVID crisis. He drove our economy into the ground. And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump.
All right, so let's tear that apart. Now, here's what I want you guys to do at home. I want y'all to take that initial comment right there. First thing, he doesn't know anything about service because all he's ever done is serve himself. Guys, I want y'all to store that in the memory bank because I'm fixing to destroy that here in the next few minutes. But just hold on to that for a second. Why do you think violent crime was up? If it was, all right, I'm not saying it was or wasn't. Why do you think violent crime was up when Trump was in president, possibly? Just a guess. Just a guess.
I'd probably say BLM riots.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to keep track of violent crime when now in California, they don't arrest you. They don't chase you. You can go burn down a city and nobody goes to jail. All right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up with violent crime numbers when nobody's being arrested for committing violent crimes.
Yeah, over in California, I do believe they put signs on the street that says if you steal over $900 and some dollars, it's a crime, but under that they won't do anything.
That is 100% true. I've been to a CVS in San Francisco that had signs that says something along the lines, it is not a felony unless you steal
and
more
how
than
many
$900.
videos have we seen?
They're promoting the fact that you can steal less than $1,000.
Of people walking into an Apple store and just ripping the phones and iPads and stuff off the wall and just walking out, and people just sitting there. Hey, you missed one.
Because they're scared if they touch him, they're going to get charged with assault.
Yeah, and so here's a little piece of news, and I can't confirm this, but this is what we're hearing. This dude was apparently the 16th pick. Walz was 16. That she was turned, and like I said,
class being like,
pick me. You know, the dodgeball kid that weighs 300 pounds that couldn't dodge planet Earth if it was thrown at him. Yeah. So apparently she was turned down by 14, 15 other people. And again, like I said earlier, this was the guy that said, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. Okay.
That's what I was surprised it wasn't Shapiro, because Shapiro being from Pennsylvania, man, that's a huge swing state. I thought it was going to be Shapiro.
Bro, this is what I heard about Shapiro is that him and Kamala had a meeting and he said, because she was just as advertised.
Good.
And he's like, no, I'm not hitching myself to that wagon. No, not at all. Like, and how bad is it that you can't have a one-on-one private conversation with somebody? Like, she's bad enough in public. I can't even imagine how bad she is. She probably, good evening. Yeah, whatever. But no, he goes on and he actually calls out Vance and says that
really quick. What I had next in line here is he talks about how violent crime was up under Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah,
about. But this is what his state looked like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We'll just play this without sound, but just look at this.
And to my veterans out there, okay, that served the same time I did, man, this looks familiar.
This is a war zone, man.
Like, this looks like the when we pushed up through Baghdad in the middle of 2003 after the Air Force destroyed it, this looks just like the streets of Diyala province or Baghdad. But no, it's not. It's Minnesota. Like, that's after the BLM riots. No arrests were made. This dude sat in his house for a full 24 to 48 hours before he made one phone call to the National Guard or I don't know any police force that's going to go out there in the middle of that. The only thing that stops that is the National Guard, and none of those phone calls were made. And that's why violent crime was so high, because you didn't get off your butt and do nothing to protect the innocent citizens of your state.
Just look, people are wearing masks, probably not because of COVID, but because of everything that's in the air because of all this.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But he does go on during that speech.
Yeah. And talking about J.D. Vance. Let's just.
And I got to tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy.
Trust me, bro. Neither can he.
Have you heard anything from Vance? His response?
Nah, I don't think anything's come out yet. But they have to say it first, Tony, because it controls the narrative.
If he's willing to get off the couch and show
See?
up.
Boom. Yeah, that's a nervous laugh right there. Dude, Vance is going to eat this dude alive.
I'm pretty sure Vance put out a statement saying he's going to wipe the floor with this dude.
He's going to.
I'm pretty sure that's what was.
They're going to need to carry him out in a bucket when Vance is done with him. Just for his record alone. Oh, God. Anyway, so
Such a weirdo.
I got popped for this, not by Instagram, but by a Trump supporter. And I'm going to, before we play this, okay, I posted this and I said, look, I've been married to Kendra for almost 5 years. I've never shook her hand in my life. I can honestly tell you, I've never shook the woman's hand, ever. This is creepy, okay? And then somebody was like, no, he wasn't shaking her hand. He was grabbing her hand and pulling her in for a hug. You be the judge. I didn't see
the way
no.
His body slumps
I didn't
over
see no,
as
and then he kind of gave her the arch back. I didn't. No, That's you've got Ebola. Get away from me, hug. No, I'm sorry, dude. Who hugs?
He looks like he's crying into her shoulder.
Yeah, dude. Does anybody? All right. Does anybody hug your spouse like this? Like, dude, we're like this, man. We're body to body, not like hugging a Bengal tiger. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm still going to go on record and saying he shook her hand. That was freaking weird. And, keep calling J.D. Vance weird because that's working out for you, you wacko.
Look, he's putting his hand out to shake her hand. That is not anything
exactly.
else.
And she looks surprised. She's like, what? Okay, that's what we're doing?
Yeah. Todd, I think you're correct. Look, because
dude, I'm telling you.
Look, while he's shaking her hand and trying to hug her, usually when you're embracing somebody who's your spouse, you let go. You let go of the hand and embrace with both hands, not just keep on holding. He's hugging her like his buddy, like, hey, come here, grabbing her hand, like coming, embracing each other like a buddy, like that. Yeah, that doesn't look like very, very, very
no,
loving.
I'm sorry. Shook her hand and hugged her like she was the honey badger. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care.
That is a little bizarre.
Moving on, we got the Jesse Waters next. This is what Jesse Waters had to say on J.D. Vance. He always does. Man, he's so good. He's so good. Let's play this.
This guy put tampons in boys' bathrooms. 4th grade boys' bathrooms, tampons. He wants CRT taught. He was all about toppling the Columbus statue. This guy changed the flag of this state to look more like Somalia. What is wrong with this guy? This guy put tampons in...
I have something that Graham wants us to play.
I just saw this. So Graham wants us to play something?
Let's just play it.
He's hosting the show via text message.
He's just like,
all right, let's see.
He's like, what are you guys doing to my show?
Oh my God!
He just that's you. Oh,
we're definitely getting copyright for this, but great. But that was. Hold up.
He hugged Kamala's.
He went kind of low there. I don't know if he was going for the hand.
They went. I can't say it. I can't say it.
Dude, look at that hand. He's going real low there. What's he going for?
They went
Todd, stop.
I'm sorry. Find the lie.
You got to be more nonchalant than that, dude. Look, his leg is like boom.
I mean, bro,
He's getting ready to like hop on the dude's back. Why has he got a leg up? What is going on?
He just
look at how
and he's hanging on.
Look at how he embraced him. He like grabbed him and he went like this.
Bro,
I was like, dude.
And then his wife, he's like, oh, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for showing up. All right, now go away.
Come back. Kamala's husband.
Come back.
Thanks for the vote. I appreciate it.
And then, hey, wife, thanks for being here. You're so great.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, man, that is so. Yeah,
that is weird.
Yet Fetterman, Walz, all of them have said Trump and Vance are weird, and really, they're weird, and you literally just like, I can't. I'm gonna get us in trouble. Look, Royce, we're really running close here. I'm fixing to go really long on this next part. So here's what we know about Walz so far. Okay, yes, he put tampons in fourth grade boys' bathrooms. He changed his Minnesota state flag to reflect Somalia. He allows the terrorist sympathizer Ilhan Omar to run rampant in his state. He allowed BLM to burn his cities to the ground and did nothing about it. Did absolutely nothing. There are Graham just said you're welcome. Thank you for that. That was great. Here is my number one problem, and this, out of everything this moron has done, this is the number one thing, in my opinion, that completely and totally disqualifies him, not just from vice president, but to be a leader of anybody representing the American people. Okay, let's play this clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
My father served during Korean War, and the day after I turned 17, he took me down to an Army National Guard recruiter, and I raised my hand and signed up.
That was the beginning of 24 years in the military. And whether he was fighting floods or supporting missions overseas, Walz relished his experience as a citizen soldier.
The public needs to know how pathetic his leadership was as a National Guardsman. He abandoned us, you know. I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
Back in 2005, a warning order went out to the 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery to mobilize for a mission to Iraq. At the time, Walz served as the unit's highest non-commissioned officer, but months later, Walz would retire from the Guard, avoid the deployment, and run for Congress. Tom Behrens was next in line for the position and was asked to take his place.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake, if this guy quit, and if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that?
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, obviously AOC loves the choice, loves it. But anyway, this is my biggest problem with Tim Walz. All right, so I'm going to break this down civilian-wise from what I know. All right, so number one, every news media outlet, liberal media outlet in the world is saying that Tim Walz is a retired command sergeant major. All right, that is E9. That is the highest NCO rank you can attain in the United States Army. And in fact, it's false. He did not retire as a command sergeant major. He retired as a master sergeant, which is an E8, because he could not complete the required courses to be a command sergeant major. What is a command sergeant major? A command sergeant major is the top NCO in a battalion, division, whatever you want to call it. He was the command sergeant major of a field artillery battalion in the state of Minnesota. Probably anywhere between 700 to 1,000 soldiers underneath his leadership as a command sergeant major. His unit got alerted to deploy to Iraq in 2005. He got the order, and instead of being a leader of men and getting his troops ready, he said, nope, not doing it. Immediately retired, dodged the deployment, hung his stuff up, and walked away. So much so that the older gentleman in the video had to come in and take his place.
So Todd, real quick before you move on, I don't know how it works when you're in the Guard or the Army or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Can you retire whenever you want? Or
yes. Okay. So here's what happens. Okay, and this is just another piece to the puzzle and another domino why this aggravates me so. So when it comes to the Guard, you get an alert. Okay, you get the unit gets an alert saying, "Hey, this is coming. All right, but once it happens and the orders are cut, then stop loss takes effect, meaning you can't retire, you can't get out. Even if your contract ends, you're there. Okay, You're going nowhere. So he knew that when the alert happened, he knew that, and he immediately retired before the stop loss hit. I have absolutely no respect for this person in any way, shape, form, or fashion. All right, and here is why. Because he's a command sergeant major at this point. He is in charge, and he is responsible for thousands of younger soldiers. It's not like some kind of little E3 or E4 or E5 that didn't really have any responsibilities to begin with. No. This was the top dog in his battalion, in his field artillery battalion. All right, this was the top dog. And he turned his back on his own men, and he walked away. And he just completely walked away. What do you think he's going to do to you? All right, when things get hard, when things get difficult, if stuff hits the fan, what do you think he's going to do to the American people? If he dodged a deployment because he's a coward, what do you think he's going to do when stuff hits the fan? If and when, possibly, he gets elected, becomes the vice president, and something bad happens.
Yeah, and what does something like this being on his record say to our adversaries?
100%.
When they look at this and they're trying to figure out how far can they push these people, including this guy, Tim Walz, they're going to look at this and be like, oh, he has zero respect. He has zero loyalty to his country.
None.
And this reminds me, and I told you guys earlier a few weeks ago that I recently watched Band of Brothers. There's a whole couple episodes where they're getting ready to approach this town, right? And they have this guy who's in charge there, right? He's the battalion leader. And he's only there like to rank up. They said he has to have military experience or whatever. He's only there to rank up. And the whole time that he's there, he's like hiding in the woods, going on taking a nap or whatever. And as soon as crap hit the fan, he was like, I'm gonna go tell the sergeant, and he leaves.
Yeah,
that's exactly what this guy did.
Yeah, and so
and he was marked as a coward in that show. That's how they portrayed him.
And so I'm going to bring it full circle here, and I told y'all to store that comment in your memory brain, because he opened his speech up by saying Trump doesn't know the first thing about service because he's only serving himself. Look, bro, you abandon your soldiers because you don't know a dang thing. Ooh, it almost came out. You don't know a dang thing about service. That is the ultimate self-service, because one of the Army values is selfless service. All right. You self-served yourself by being a coward, and you hung your uniform up, you abandoned your troops, and I will do everything within my power here on Dear America to make sure that you're not put in a position of leadership to turn your back on the American people and sell us out.
Well, we've seen his record do it already, Todd. I mean, look at what he did when he was the governor. He let the rioters burn down his city without, like we just talked about it. He waited 24 hours before he called in the National Guard, and he let the rioters burn down a police station. He waited 24 hours for that when he saw the violence happening in the city. And just like you said, what do you think he's going to do when stuff hits the fan? He can't make tough decisions like that. He is like you were saying, he is a coward. He cannot make tough
panic
decisions.
Mode, and going to run off and to close this little piece, and I'll get y'all's in a second. I can't wait until him and Vance sit on the stage together, because Vance was a legit Marine, like a legit Marine. And trust me when I tell you, that Semper Fi is going to come out when they start talking about this, and Vance is going to eat him alive, and he's not going to have anything to say about it.
Yeah. And it's not only him, it's his wife. Like, this is the mentality that they have. This clip is of his wife saying that she'd leave the windows open to smell the burning rubber off the streets during the BLM riots, because it reminded her of what they were fighting for. Let's just peek at this, and then I want to get y'all's opinion on it.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires, and that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
Yes.
Yeah, I have an idea. Instead of leaving the windows open, how about you tell your husband, hey, why don't you call in the National Guard? Why don't
Get
you
your
do
butt
something?
out there
How
and
about you go ahead and
stop
just
it.
burn your own house down while you're at it? Like, if you like it so much, if you want to keep the windows open to smell it, the smell of victory, it's the smell of chaos. This is the smell of your state burning to the ground.
I don't know about you guys and you people in the chat as well. There's some times where I'm about to say something and I know it's going to be stupid, and I stop myself because I was like, all right, I mean, this coming out of my mouth is going to sound so idiotic and stupid. I just can't say it. Why
I don't have that ability.
Why can't people who are in power, people who are in office, I mean, you would think at that point that you'd say, I probably shouldn't say something like this because it's going to sound pretty idiotic. But I mean, I guess
it
not.
sounds like the Democrat Party prefers people without that filter. You got Joe Biden,
I know.
You got Kamala Harris. And it's not that they don't have that filter. They just don't have brain cells. They can't speak correctly, so they don't have to worry about them saying anything too crazy, I guess.
Exactly. All right, so while the little bit of time we have left, let's go down. And Trump is making I'm gonna call it just a weird prediction. And if I will say this though, if it does happen, Graham's gonna have a field day.
We need to show first Trump's reaction to the pick.
Live on let's
Fox.
do that.
This was Trump on the phone, live on Fox, giving his initial reaction. Then we'll get to his statement that he posted on X the other night.
So, thank you. Your reaction to Governor Tim Walz joining Kamala Harris to go against you and J.D. Vance?
I would say my reaction is I can't believe it. I never thought this was going to be the one that was picked. I know him a little bit. I helped him very much during the riots because his house was surrounded by people that were waving an American flag. Doesn't sound like very bad people. And he called me, and he was very concerned, very, very concerned that it was going to get out of control. They only had one guard. I guess it was at the mansion or at his house in some form. And he called me. I said, what do you want me to do about it? I was in the White House. He said, if you would put out the word that I'm a good person. And I did. I put out the word. I said, he's a good person. I hope everything's good. And everybody put down their flags and took their flags with them. But they took their American flags and their MAGA flags and they left. It was thousands of people. And that was the first time I said, wow, that's very interesting. And he called me back and he thanked me very much. That's my only thing I ever had to do with him. He's a very, very liberal man, and he's a shocking pick, and I'm thrilled. I could not be more thrilled.
I mean, when they selected.
It's perfect.
Like,
perfect
yeah, of course you can't be more thrilled, man. I mean, so everything that we've said. Also, if you've been on Twitter lately, you see, is anybody else seen his mugshot? Yeah. Doing 96 and a 55, drunker than Cooter Brown? Mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Captain DUI right there, buddy. I'm telling you, he better not accept a debate with Vance. Like, I mean, he better not because, dude, like I said, they're going to have to carry him away in a bucket. He's going to eat him alive. But so Trump made this statement, and then he messaged this last night, and this is interesting here. And he says, what are the chances that crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in U.S. history, whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama, crazy Nancy Pelosi, shifty Adam Schiff, crying Chuck Schumer, and others on the lunatic left, crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate. He feels that he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the presidency to a coup to the people in the world he most hates, and he wants it back now. Thoughts?
Interesting.
And let's just, let's leave it to the chat. Is there, do you think Biden shows up and blows the DNC up and saying, nope, not doing it, not standing down. I want the nomination.
I mean, my thoughts are probably not, because not only does Harris and Walz not have some momentum, but I think that the Obamas have some kind of dirt on him and his family right now, and that's probably why he stepped down and gave it to Kamala, because they came to him, wrote him a check, said, here, you write whatever amount you need there, but remember, we also have this on the back burner kind of thing. Yeah. So,
and again, it came out that the Obamas threatened him with the 25th Amendment. So
yeah.
I don't think they would stand for him wanting to get back in anyways. The Democrat Party wouldn't allow it to happen because their agenda has already been shifted to Kamala.
Yeah, but as we've seen throughout this whole crazy time in politics, anything can happen and anything is happening. It's crazy. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone what's going to happen.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty stupid if they rooted for him to run again, because when he was running at the very end of it, all these donors were dropping out saying, I'm not donating $1.
Yep.
If Joe Biden's up there, like, nobody wants him. Not even their own side wants him up there. So if he came back and said this on the stage in front of the world, I think he would be taken off stage pretty quickly.
Well, there is everything that I've read. There are rumors out there right now that Jill Biden is throwing hissy fits in the White House right now, that she is screaming to the top of her lungs, that her and Kamala are getting in screaming matches, and she's just beyond pissed that this is going on right now. But Graham said it's very odd, and I will say this for him. To say something like that, he is hearing something that we are not. I have to agree with Graham. Trump's not going to put something out like that unless he knows something that we don't know. And I had no intention of watching the DNC, but yeah, that would make my whole year right there.
So
to see
potential reason.
Yeah, to see 6'9" Joe Biden walk into the Democratic National Convention and go, I'm not going anywhere.
I could imagine that.
Lick 'em.
Lick 'em. I could imagine that this also could be struck if Trump is hearing something, is scramble from the left because of articles like this coming out.
Yeah,
saying that Trump edges ahead of Kamala Harris with surprising group in the deep blue states. They're losing. They know they're losing, and they're scrambling, is what it feels like. So if Trump's hearing anything, it's that they don't know what to do. Maybe not that they're going to put Joe back up, but they don't know how to fix this.
They don't. But remember, the delegates, as it stands right now, the delegates are pledged to Biden right now. So don't think this can't happen. Like, don't think this can't happen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be like a kid in a candy store just.
Yep, that's a good.
If it does,
Graham texted again. Read that, Todd, would you?
Let's see. Here we go. If he did come back, the delegates would be forced to vote for him because, unlike Kamala, he won them. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've said time and time again. Yep. Not one person, one American citizen has voted for Kamala.
Exactly.
And no 25th Amendment has been done. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't have to make a big scene. All he's got to do is just step on stage and go, nope, just kidding. It's not happening.
Yep.
Lick him.
I'm back.
That's all he has to do. Now, I will say, I did see a poll that actually Fox News put up. They've got Kamala up by 3 points as of this morning. Right now.
Fox News?
Yeah, it came from Fox News. I don't see it lasting because, again, we have this honeymoon phase now with Walz. But I have to say, if I am the Trump, and I know President Trump and some of his people watch this show, hi, I know you don't know me. I'm not Graham. But I'm here to tell you, you need to get on the debate stage with those two as quickly as you can. Because that's going to kill it right there. That'll end it, especially Vance and Walz. You put them two together ASAP. I don't care if it's CNN and MSNBC. I don't care if it's Joy Reid doing it. You need to get them on there right now because pound for pound, that would be like me fighting Chuck Liddell.
It's kind of ironic, though, that Walz goes on stage and says, I can't wait to debate Vance. When, like you just said, like, didn't they turn down Donald Trump's Fox News debate?
Yeah.
They turned him down. They said, no, we're not going to debate. Days later, like, I can't wait to debate this guy. What are you talking about? You just turned him down.
I am telling you now, the Walz-Vance debate is more important than the Trump-Kamala debate. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now, you shoot holes in that dude and you destroy that guy. Yes, you can. You'll get one in a minute.
Wait, I got to show that you saw what I saw.
I saw it, yeah.
I know we're not doing super chats yet, but someone just dropped this on YouTube, and it's the funniest
Andrew,
thing ever.
Yes, you can.
Can I get a lick him?
We're gonna lick him. Lick him.
Oh my gosh!
See, that's what I beat about people in the chat. They're awesome.
Dude, I love you guys.
They're just...
All right, well, that's it's 9:05. Do we want to show the Fetterman?
Or
do we want to save it?
Let's show it really quick.
Okay.
I think it's really quick. It's worth showing.
Yeah. So again, Uncle Fester, Uncle Fester comes out, and he says this,
You know, this election is about moving our country forward with Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. Or a couple of really weird dudes.
Time out. Why is that like the slogan right now? Like,
because they're weird. It's reverse psychology.
Yes, like, because, I mean, and we're about to show you. All right, so this guy just called Trump and Vance weird, but he walks on stage like this. He looks like he just got out from under your mom's Buick.
Yeah.
Like, and he skipped leg day like a million times.
He skipped every workout day. What are you talking about?
He's a congressman for where? What state?
Pennsylvania. Like, listen, bro, and we've talked about this before. The Carhartt hoodies and jeans, I don't really mind. I don't really mind. Okay, but the Dickies shirt with shorty shorts, come on, dude.
I mean, have some self-respect, man. I mean, you're on a national stage. Put on some pants, man.
Like, honestly,
put on a dress shirt. Man.
I would prefer you come out in blue jeans and a tuxedo T-shirt, because at least that would be funny. You know, this just looks sad and embarrassing.
Come on, this is a person who's representing the people of Pennsylvania, and as we keep saying on the show, our enemies are watching all these. I'm sure they're watching a lot of these debates and, you know, vice president picks or whatnot. He comes out and our enemies are just laughing at us, man. This guy is coming out looking like he just popped out of bed. I mean, it's just it's embarrassing.
Somebody needs to.
He thinks it's cool. He thinks it's
yeah.
like
I don't know what part. Somebody needs to put a trailer hitch on him so they can pull him away from the buffet line every time he goes to the Sizzler. But anyway, that's all we got for the day, ladies and gentlemen. While we have so many of y'all, it's over 10,000 at this point. We're going to pray this thing out.
13,
reminder,
almost 13,
almost 13. Great, excellent, everybody. Thank y'all for showing up and hanging out, even when our beautiful host is not here. Just shows how much you love us and how much you love the material.
He's here via text message.
He is. Still blowing my phone up. But we're going to go ahead and pray this thing out, ladies and gentlemen. Father, we just thank you for the many blessings that you give us. Father, we thank you for your love, your grace, your mercy, and your justice. Father, we just ask that you continue to be a light unto our feet, Father, that you open the doors that need to be opened, you close the ones that need to be closed, but that you give us the insight to know the difference. Father, if there is somebody out there right now that is listening to my voice, whether it be on audio or here on live, that does not have a relationship with you, that does not know you, or has had a relationship with you and does not feel close to you anymore. Father, I just ask that you go to those individuals, that you send the Holy Spirit to meet them exactly where they are and to remind them that you are the God, that you are the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, and that you were the one that sent your son to die on a cross for us to take our place. Father, we love you. We thank you for everything that you do for us. And we ask all of these things in your son's name, and all God's people said,
Amen.
All right, let's get to super questions.
Lord, we pray for healing for Graham.
Yeah, for sure. Like now. Now, Lord. Now, Lord.
I can't stand Todd running the show every day, man.
Sorry, Roy. Sorry. I do my best. All right,
you're doing great, Todd.
Randall, that's a joke, by the way. Me and
Roy, it's a running joke.
We are really good friends. From Randall J. God bless, God-fearing USA. Not saying that part. Those who would destroy her. Abortion is murder. Homosexuality is an abomination. Yeah, okay.
Put that up.
On it, yeah. Don't put that up. That was, yeah. Honest. I mean, I agree with you, but I can't read some of that stuff. Honest Patriot, Florida. Walz wants to take kids away from their parents, and if the parents don't want to transition them, look it up. Oh yeah. They approve that. Like, your teenager can have gender-affirming care and doesn't need your permission. And if you disagree with it as a parent, you can go to jail. So that's the America you're voting for. Son of David, 83. Walz is 60 years old. He brings absolutely nothing new to the Democrats. Could this possibly be a bigger setup for failure? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Honestly, I think Graham was right that he was the 16th pick, that everybody else turned her down, and they had to have somebody. Hot Seat Robin, I live in Minnesota, and the last thing we need is, no balls Walz for VP. He has destroyed Minnesota and will help Harris destroy the rest of the country. Agreed. C. Robinson, good evening, troops. Wanted you guys to do a shout out for my new biz, Corbin Clay Investigations here in Texas, specializing in surveillance, missing persons, civil process, etc. 30 plus years experience from First Sergeant Robinson. Jerry GB 2316. Good morning, everyone, and God bless Graham. Hope you feel better. And I just wanted to let you all know I live in Humboldt, California, and I've never seen a sign like that. Prayers for Israel. Florida Bob, the Harris-Walz ticket is not out there to win. This is a test by the left to see how far they can push the electorate in 2028. They will study the polls to determine just how far they overshot. That's an interesting theory. I'm not going to disagree with it, Florida Bob. Pops McGroin, swift boat this guy. Yeah, take him to the train station. I agree. S. Rosario 2010. Love how you guys hold the fort down while Graham is gone every time. Great show, guys. And Todd, I am all vets, and those of us who are still serving share your sentiments. Vance will eat him up. Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
That's what we're waiting for.
Dude, I can't wait. I'd spend the whole hour talking about his military career. Alicia Victoria 88. Todd, my boyfriend, serves in the military, and he doesn't want to vote. He says he'd vote if the main candidate served in the military. How could you, as a military person, urge him to vote? It's very simple. I was a recruiter at the time that Trump was the president. And tell your husband that benefits were never higher. VA was never faster. We had higher bonuses, higher education benefits while Trump was in office. While I understand his precedent, okay, I do. I get that you want your commander-in-chief to have time in the service. You don't have to wear the uniform to do what's right by the military. Trump did absolutely right by us. So tell him that. Hot seat redneck. Tampon 10 is Tim is a POS. Sorry, Royce. Is a POS. That one caught me off guard. POS Marxist. He'll sell America to China on day one. Yeah, they've been talking about that. He does make a lot of trips to China. Kiloho. Deadpool. Bye. Oscar. I agree. Just for that scene alone. Yeah. Just for that scene alone. I watch that scene like 3 times a day on YouTube. It's that good. Awakened all day, just because if these globalists and their puppets, I'm starting to think Gog and Magog are the globalists versus the commie Bricks and Company. I'm missing Graham yell. I'll start screaming at y'all if you want me to. I can get loud too. I have that NCO voice too. That's it. Next time I host, I'm just screaming the whole time.
You have to do that high pitch like he gets.
I can't do that, man. Brandy, did y'all see Ben Stiller raising money for Kamala joke campaign? It's disgusting, and these Hollywood and musicians need to sit down and shut up and stay the heck out of political pit. Yeah, they did. So Ben Stiller went on the White Dudes for Kamala and apparently donated $150,000, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a Jew, but I wish I was black. Matter of fact, all white Jews wish they were black."
He did say that.
Whether it was a joke and he was being comical, I'm going to leave that up to Royce. But I do know RDJ played the best role in Tropic Thunder, and that was awesome. Matthew the Davis. Good morning, fellas. Finally got a chance to watch J.D. Vance documentary on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, you need to. It is incredible. The life that man came from and to see where he is now. I don't need to watch it because, we have the similar upbringings. He grew up in a hillbilly. I grew up in a trailer park. So, what's the difference?
Two trailer park guys.
Yeah, exactly. Hot seat VPN Todd.
Why are there so many hot seats now?
I don't know.
What's going on with
everybody change your handles to
imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery.
It's hard to find the comment because there's so many hot seats.
I love you guys for it. I was 100% correct about Governor Walz. He ran away from the combat zone as a senior NCO, and J.D. Vance went into combat as a Marine Corps NCO. Go, Nikki, Punisher, back to the basement.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's all. What do we have from YouTube?
We have a few from YouTube. First one is $100.
Wow. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. That's awesome.
Amazing. I hope you're still watching.
Yeah, for real.
This was sent earlier on. This is sent an hour ago.
Thanks you for providing the real facts for real Americans. Keep doing the great work you all do, and bless y'all. Thank you, Cindy. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
We already showed this, but I think it's worth showing again.
Lick them.
And I gotta lick them.
We're gonna lick them.
And this is a new one that just came in. Eileen Harper.
The Democrat picks 8 just an Overton window just to see how far the people will shift to the left. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. Tony, I think Tony has said this before, like every time they push the line of scrimmage, we back up and play defense, and they just continue to push the line of scrimmage. And I just got to ask, when's enough going to be enough? But anyway, that's all the comments. That's all we have today. Look, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for continuing to show up. This is the first time in the year I've been doing this where Graham has missed back-to-back shows, but you guys continue to show up and show out, and I cannot tell you how humbling it is that you have done that. So, Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana, everybody.
I just want to be clear. This is we just got one more super chat we should read from YouTube.
Okay.
But this is not a Joe Biden hiding out at a beach somewhere situation with Graham. Everyone's probably like, "Where's Graham? Is he there? Is he alive? We need to hear from Graham. He's there."
I would actually love
we're not
that.
hiding anything.
I think Graham hanging out with Joe Biden would be awesome. So you could just hit him with the questions, like, "Dude, what are you doing, man?"
One last super chat that just came in from Garrett. I don't want to let it go, but.
They need to get swing states not to announce their numbers on election night till all the votes are in. That way, Blue doesn't know how much they need. That's pretty smart, Garrett. Pretty smart, Garrett. That's not going to happen, but, that's pretty smart.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
wishful thinking is right. All right, that's all we got.
All right, goodbye, Roy. Say goodbye, Royce.
See you guys.
All right, guys. I am Hot Seat Todd again for Graham Allen, reminding you to stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.